Hey guys, Stealth here and welcome back to the Admiralympics, our challenge between our various admirals. Today we're designing a light cruiser. It's going to be a 1910 light cruiser. We'll have two of them in the final duel. And the way that this works, we upload these to our private Discord, and the target, so the enemy, sets the weather conditions and starting range. So they decide whether you're going to be operating in a storm, at nighttime, in daytime, in clear weather. It's all up to them. But that way you also get to decide for the enemy. So when I'm uploading my ship, they'll have to adhere to my conditions. I am going to go with a French light cruiser. And this way I can have this nice open space on the bow. This is something that most ships tend not to have. So let's go with that. Let's up the beam and up the draft and make this thing 10,866 tons. The requirement is that I can only have a regular crew. I can only have a maximum crew 50 training. And I can only have single and twin guns, no triple or quad guns, as well as ship torpedo systems must be fully operational. No single torpedo without any turning arc. But, and this was later brought up, you can have underwater torpedo launchers, and that is perfectly well allowed. So you don't have to have any deck-mounted launchers. Alright, what can we do with this guy? I'm going to set this ship up in two different ways. One, I want it to be able to engage ships at short range, but ideally I would take a couple of heavily damaging shots at longer ranges. Because I enjoy knife fighting, but I know what the other content creators are capable of coming up with. And I'm not particularly eager to see any of their designs very up close. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to try and stay at range. Of course, if somebody specified, well, you need to be in 5,000 meter range in a storm. Yeah, so be it. It won't be fun, but we'll just have to design the ship that it can handle that one as well. Okay, my plan is to have a barbette for small guns like that. Then a 7-inch gun, 1, 2, 3. And that's quite a decent amount of firepower. We're going to make these long barrels. We're going to make them 7.9-inch guns. And that should give them a lot of punch. This with, this cruiser, I can have 2.6 inches of maximum armor on this cruiser, and I think that'll go for most of them. We're looking at, Krupp 3, Citadel 2, so you're going to be up to 115%. It's not particularly very well defended. So I don't have to be able to pen a whole lot. If, let's say, I'm starting at about 10,000 meter range, I should be able to start penning this ship quite well. Explosive chance, 16% at the moment. With cordite, that goes up quite high. Let's push it back down with the barbettes, and I could go down to TNT to limit the exposure to flash fires. Alternatively, we got picric, but that's... Sorry, picric acid, but that goes up to 10. And the alternative was 11.5. The difference between these is that you get a high amount of shell damage. This one gives you a bit more shell damage, but also more shell pen. Now, I don't have particular interest in either, but because I'm not expecting to fire high explosive, I'm going to be firing semi-armor piercing ammunition shells. Because the ship is also going to be used by the AI, I'm going to give it at least some HE shells. So I'm going to have, let's say the ship have a preference to to AP, but it might fire some HE as well. If it does, that's fine, because it's most likely going to go through the target. Alright, it is possible that I'm going to get jumped by something. And if that happens, I, with this ship, will be in trouble, because these things don't rotate that fast. They fire every 24 seconds. So, yeah, that'll most likely kill me. Which is bad. Oh, actually, I can push the reload a bit. 22? Yeah, 22-second reload. I could try going for a very similar setup on the stern. And that way give the ship potentially the ability to shoot while moving away from the target. And if I'm going broadside, well, you'll have a lot of firepower with this ship. Can this actually turn? Yes, it can. Surprising. Pitch on this ship is dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. There's probably not a whole lot I can do about that. But it is going to cost me base accuracy. Lots and lots and lots of base accuracy. I think it's down to these turrets. It's not down to these turrets. Is it down to the draft? Yeah, a bit. But pushing the draft to minus, I don't know, minus 15. Yeah, that would kind of fix it. But having a low draft also means you have slightly higher chance of spreading water, but less chance of flooding. Okay, let's go with this. Because I don't really want that extremely high pitch. Set the Barbies back up. I can go with the 94,000 ton one. No, not 94,000, 94 ton one. This one gives me slightly higher flash fire protection though. Maybe I'm being overly protective regarding flash fires, but it is something that I really do not want to have happen to this ship. Pitch is still 55, so it's still pretty bad. Reducing the beam, I think, is not going to really work because, well, no, it's going to make it worse. Okay, max that out. We can put a couple of 6. No, maybe big 5s. I guess 5s will work. Can you armor up 5s? Because that's rather required. Yeah, you can. Okay, I'm gonna max out the armor on these guns. Make sure they survive. And they fire every what, like 12 seconds, I guess? 9 seconds. That's pretty good. We can have more on there. I still need to add a torpedo launcher, as per the requirements. We're gonna add one on the stern. No. Let's give him 2 side mounts. This way I have some torpedo capabilities, but not overly so. Because the risk with those torpedo launchers is that they get blown up very, very easily. And that generally causes flooding. Actually, no, let's go with bow and stern. Because I'm planning on using this thing broadside. Now, I haven't really looked into the speed yet, so let's go doing that. 35 knots sounds nice, is completely unattainable. 32 knots is a bit much, 31 knots, there you go. Some guns have poor fields of fire. Oh yeah. I think they're referring to this 5-incher. Which I guess makes sense. But it should be fine. You can turn. These 5-inchers are there, yeah, to fire HE, I guess, because they don't really do much else. I don't really expect them to be able to pen ships, because I am expecting people to have maxed out all this armor, which I still need to do. And, yeah, I'm just going to sacrifice the 5s. Those, oh, they're only worth 30 tons. Never mind. More. 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 I'm not expecting to take deck hits, but you never know with this game. More. Wow, lots more. Yeah, we're now a little bit overweight. Let's go back to 30 tons, sorry, 30 knots, and boom, finished. Okay, we have everything maxed out, I think, here. This is going to give the AI the best possible chances of surviving with this ship. Because that's really what I need. Max HE shells for the secondaries, yeah, that's fine. I'm not really expecting much to pen with AP. I'm not sure if these guns are going to be useful at all. Come to think of it. There is the option to go with the torpedo launchers, but as I said, they will probably detonate. I'm running vanilla. This means there is a very decent chance that you're going to be looking at some HE damage. Let's increase the crew. Spacious crew quarters. Range is really not important. What am I going to do with 600 tons? What am I going to do with 600 tons? I might just be able to reduce the amount of shells as well. It barely reduces the flash fire chance. What am I going to do with all this? I cannot exactly add a mine layer because, you know, that doesn't work. I can add 2-inch guns or 3-inch guns, but I think the 3s have the same issue. You can barely, you know, you cannot armor those up. Really? Watch this. 30.6? Nope. 0.1 knot. And that's the magic barrier. Alright, fine. Fine. I really don't know what else I should add to the ship. I think torpedo launchers are going to make them more vulnerable. I think adding more guns is not necessarily going to make them more powerful. Because it'll add more weak spots. It'll add more points where the ship can lose crew. And I don't want that to happen. Regarding pen and punch, I think it'll be fine. I can shoot out to supposedly about 17 clicks with AP. So I'll probably set my ship up to start at a range of 12.5. And with a decent crew and decent overall stats, I think we can make something work with this ship. Is it possible to add another funnel, perhaps? Because then I can push the engine efficiency a bit higher. No, I cannot push this turret farther back. Maybe this one, no? Just make a little bit of room. Come on. Squeeze one more funnel in there. Just add 2 relatively smaller ones. No. Funnel cap, 10, 9.5. So if I use 3 of these small ones, I get more, right? Come on now. There you go. Done. 104% engine efficiency, so that if she's in a turn, she should recover fairly quickly. Propellant. Yeah, the Cordite's going to give me that higher flash fire chance, but also gives me a bit more range. I think I have plenty. Let's go with Ballastite. Alright, so that is the Malus. That's the ship that I'm going to be sending in. On to the second part of the video, the actual battle. Time for the battle. I'm facing Poliwhirl's cruisers. These are his so-called kill cruisers. And I can understand why, because these things are pretty heavily armed. They're packing a lot of those 7-inch guns. They have 3-inch gun, they got a couple more 3s, and they have torpedo launchers. My ships are also packing 7s, well 7.9s, but only 6 of them of course, but I have a lot more range. I can shoot out to about, let's say, 15 kilometers reliably. He cannot. He cannot. He can fire out to, yeah, I don't know, 11. I think that's when the game will open up with AP. So all I have to do is make sure that, under his conditions, starting at 7,000 meter range, I just get away. Because I can do 31, or well, 30.5 knots, he can do 21. So the plan, smoke up, and gently run away. Make sure that I don't actually take any hits. Because this is when that ship of his is extremely dangerous. This is when his design really has the benefit. So of course, that's why he picked this starting range, because he's probably hoping that I'm going to be jumped by his cruisers. Not a bad assumption. But, of course, a light cruiser can smoke up. And with that smoking ability, it's pretty easy to just disengage to a range at which I am safe, wait for the smokescreen to run out, and then pepper them with those pretty high-end 7.9s. Ideally, I'd stay at around, I think, 12 kilometers, and see just how well armored that ship is. Maybe I can pen it, maybe I can't. If I can't, I still have about 87 rounds of high explosive with me, which can still do some form of damage, and potentially knock out some components, ideally a torpedo tube or 2, before we have to switch back to armor piercing. Now, the smoke has run out. At this point, it is quite feasible to start seeing them on the horizon. I just hope that they're not too stealthy. If they are, well, if they have a low target profile, low target signature, that means it's possible for them to still be very difficult to detect and again sneak up on me. Oh, there we go. Yeah, see? These things are sneaky. That is very, very, very dangerous. Because with that sneaky ship comes the problem that I cannot utilize that range that I have. That's unfortunate. 5-inch main belt? Oh. Well, there goes that part of the plan. I can armor my ships up to 2.5 inches. He can armor up to 5.1. So my armor piercing plan is not going to work. I'm not sure how I can kill this thing. Because it's very well protected. Lots of crew, so eliminating the crew is not a factor. I suspect the turrets are pretty heavily armored as well. I might be able to knock out the 3-inchers, but that's not really going to do much. Okay. Let's see how this goes down. I think he has the better ship here. At least for now. Yeah, there's one hole. One hole hit. And now they're starting to smoke up. Seeing as I have a drastic lack of ammunition, because I think I put them on reduced. Yeah, I don't carry that much ammo. So I have to be careful not to run out of ammunition. We're going to be playing hide and seek for a little bit of time, although, ironically, I know much better where they are than they know where I am. By virtue of them just giving their position away with a smokescreen. How am I going to fight these guys? They're very heavily armored. I was not expecting that little cruiser trick. Because of course if you're going with a semi-armored cruiser, well, you know, armored is in the name. And that's exactly what they have done. Let's pepper them some. Is it possible to wait for this thing to run out? Not likely. I mean, yeah, it's possible, I guess. Feasible? Not as much, I'd say. Not as much. I think they might be having a difficult time trying to get hits on my ships because I'm so fast. And that speed currently is making it very difficult. There we go again. I think it was a good move by him to play in the evening, because I think that does reduce your detection chances a bit. Switch to armor piercing. I'm going to see if I can get something. Anything, really. Oh, ow. How much is that pen? That pen's a lot. What are you throwing at me? You're throwing AP capped. Right, makes sense. So they can easily go through my armor. Because we're fighting at about 6 kilometer range, so let's say 7. I have 3 inches of armor pen on his ship. I don't have that much armor on my ship. So I am very much at risk here. Very much in danger. Come on. No, we destroyed a main gun. Did we really? Yeah. We did. We destroyed 2, in fact. Okay. Unexpected. How did we do that? Did we go through the turret roof? Because the rest of the turret seems pretty heavily armored, right? Yeah. Yeah, everything's getting blocked. There's the kill cruiser. Their accuracy is decent. I'd say 5 to 6%. Mine's 35. And that has everything to do with the fact that I have those long barrels. But of course, that comes at a price. I'm unable to really get decent hits quickly. My reload is definitely not as good as his. His reload is 13 seconds and mine's 22. Now we're getting some damage on the Zrenyi, to be sure. It's just gonna take a lot of shells if I want to sink both of them. So perhaps, instead of saving some displacement, I should have just gone with bringing more ammunition. Misplay on my part. Come on. Okay, so we fire 6 shells. We have 218 shells, so we have enough for about 35 salvos. Give or take a few part salvos. The rate at which that ship is taking damage, I think it's not going to happen. I think we're going to be in trouble. Come on, where are they? There they are. Oh, you each selected a different target. Okay, that works for me. With all the ammunition and guns that he's packing, it is possible for him to take a flash fire, I guess. Oh, there goes another main gun. Yep. Oh, that would be a very interesting way to knock them out. Just kill all their guns. And then push in. And torp him, I guess? All the while getting peppered by 3-inch shells, but meh. I'm not that worried about 3-inch shells. Their crew loss is only 10.9%. And seeing as I'm now playing on version 1.6, I think you need to lose 60% of your crew before the game actually forces your ship to surrender. So, given that, crew surrender is much more unlikely now. Did I knock out another gun? Yeah, Zrinji is falling back. The thing about the scoring system is, if you want to get some points, you do need to sink a ship. Or at least, if you want to get a decent amount of points, that is. Switch to the kill cruiser for a sec. Go back to armor piercing, because they're nice and broadside. Serves me well. Their chance to hit me is definitely impacted by my target speed. Yeah, minus 30%, sorry, minus 37% for them. So they're definitely struggling with that. That's good. Can we knock out some guns here too? Reduce their DPS a bit? That would be nice. No torps, unless otherwise directed. Yeah, look at that. We're taking them down 4%. It's not enough. At least they're starting to take some... No, they don't have any damage instability. No, nothing. Oh, here comes the smokescreen party again. Okay, fine. Fine. Do we have damage instability? No, we don't. Excellent. Alright. Let's just wait for the smoke to pass. And then... yeah, continue peppering those ships. Because that's the only play I have. Running into torpedo range is going to end very, very poorly for me. At least until such a point where they don't have as many guns. Because the rate at which those ships will tear me apart means that I will not likely be able to get into torpedo range. Even if I do manage to launch a torp, it's going to have to be a bow or a stern one. And these are only 18-inch, so they'll not do much. Especially not against a ship that's well prepared to take a torpedo hit. So this is going to be a very, very, very difficult ship to sink. If at all possible. There we go again. Of course, there is still another option, if you will, and it's to go for a ram. I don't think it's going to do a ton of damage, but it is a way to knock out the ship, or at least part of it. Why did you smoke up again? I thought you just smoked. The hell? We didn't have that much of a lull in the fighting. How are these guys smoking up all the time? I'm getting too close to those ships. There we go. Punch him. Overpen. Partial pen. We did knock out a gun. Yeah, they're definitely carrying a lot of armor-piercing ammunition. We did knock out 2 more guns. Those 7-inchers on their part are fragile. My ships don't have the same issue. Interesting. Mine aren't spectacularly well armored, are they? 10, yeah, mine have more turret roof armor. Maybe that's one part that is at least a little bit more dangerous on their ships. A little bit more fragile. They're low fuel? Alright. My fuel... Oh, I'm also going to be low fuel pretty soon. I'm 17%. Which means my ships are going to slow down. But their ships are already very much slowed down. So at this rate, I might be able to get a couple of decent hits. Because they're very slow now. 9 knots. Nice. Oh, decent. Decent. They've lost 14% of their crew, which means that they don't really notice at all. More damage to the guns. I'm kind of hoping for an ammo detonation. Seeing as I'm constantly hitting their guns and their ammunition depots. It's not happening, though. Hold on, you did torp? Shall we not do dangerous things like that? Yeah, I'm gonna run out. I do not have the ammo. Save your shells until you have a good shot. They're smoking up again? What the hell? Welcome to the vape club. Okay, fine. Let them vape. There we go. One vaping session later. The guys are back in town. Unfortunately, very heavily angled. So, HE it is. They got no ammo for their HE. We're going to run into that problem fairly soon. I have almost no ammo. Yeah, not bringing ammo on these ships is definitely a very bad decision. Because I was not expecting something like this, something this heavily armored. I thought, yeah, I can pen that. Well, no you can't. Okay, we're going to split up. The Forbin is going to maintain speed. They're going to try and push in. While I still have a ship. Ooh. Torpedo destroyed. They got no torpedo launchers left on the kill cruiser. That's good. They've lost a bunch of their crew. I have lost 2.5 and 1.5. Yeah. At this point, maybe AP is going to work again. You're smoking up again? Holy shit. They smoke for what, 2 minutes? And then they have a 2 to 3 minute cooldown, right? Yeah, we got we got 4 HE shells, and then it's over to AP. Nice. Come on, Forbin. Have at him. Yeah, there's a 5-minute cooldown after a smoke, so I guess that 5 minutes passes very quickly. Now, we did inflict some flooding on one of them. Maybe we can further exploit that flooding. I doubt it, though. Like, it's 85% buoyancy. It's not good. As for your torpedo launchers, at least that's not a problem anymore. Let's use our own. At this point, it's kind of double or nothing. We're going. Come on, get that torpedo into the water. Now is as good a time as any. Ah, there you go. Took you long enough. Okay, now you're going to angle a little bit. At least to one of the ships. Well, we're knocking him down to 54% structural. Coming at a cost, because my ship's flooding. That torpedo is definitely going to make a bunch more flooding on their ship. Maybe 2, 3 compartments. Yeah, just the damage is a cluster. Because they probably have double hulls. Yeah. They don't get an anti-torpedo blister. Because you simply don't get that in this era. Oh, they're flooding a lot. It's 5 compartments going up. Yeah, we're going to make a hard turn to port. We're going to try and get the stern launcher away on the kill cruiser as well. I think the Forbin might not survive, but kill cruiser is struggling with that flooding. 17% buoyancy. Ooh, come on, Forbin. 10%, 8%, 7. Holding on 7. Increasing to 5, 4, 2... That's 1 down. Excellent. Well done. Now, we have about 40 AP shells on one ship and 40 on the other. And we have torpedo launchers that are somewhat functional. Not much. Come on. Put that aft torpedo launcher into the water. Get that torp away. We have range. Range is 4. Is the torpedo launcher destroyed? No, it's functional. We're actually getting a whole lot more damage into this ship than I was expecting. Oh, yeah, right. Keep in mind, the closer you get, the more pen you get. So we're actually ripping this thing apart right now with the armor piercing. Oh, torpedo is a dud. That's unfortunate. Get him. I think most of their main guns are out. Their conning tower is out. Gonna probably take all the shells that I have, but we should be able to finish the job. Torp away. Good damage on the secondary tower. Down to 13 and 4. At least we know it's not going anywhere. That's a very helpful thought. Did that torpedo just... Oh, God! Yeah, I forgot about those. The kill cruiser had their torpedoes destroyed. The Zrenyi did not. Oh, there she goes! Yes! Got him. Got him. My ships both survived. They're not particularly happy. They did take some serious damage. Especially, which one was it? Yeah, this one. The Fauban almost sank. Especially the flooding was concerning, but she survived. As did her sister. Unfortunately for the Austro-Hungarians, the Zrenyi and the kill cruiser did not. Now, of course, this is only half the battle. Because on Poliworld's channel, you can see his battle against my cruisers under my conditions. So head over to his channel, linked down below in the description, and let me know how that battle went. I'll see you guys over there in the comment section, and of course down on mine. Thank you for watching. Next week, most likely a heavy cruiser Admiralympics. So let's see what sort of weird twists and turns we'll see there. Thank you for watching, hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you soon for more.